You are listening to the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network. You are listening to your source for trusted intel and news. You're listening to Live with DC. You are listening to your source for trusted intel and news. You're listening to Live with DC.
Hey there, it's your favorite president. You need to be listening to my friend DC. He's a trusted source and won't lead you astray.
Thank you for listening to You Host DC, your trusted source for intel and news.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, everybody. It's what is today? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Good to have everybody on here. It's so good to see people that continue to come back, and as soon as I hit on Rumble, boom, we just had people like flying in there. Great stuff. Yeah, man, great day to be alive, right? Beautiful day out. All good stuff. I'm kind of a people make fun of me. Friends do a little bit make fun of me because I feed the birds around here, make sure the birds are fed and everything. And I buy these big old things. I just love it. Cardinals, all that stuff. I love it all. But last night got aggravated. My dogs got up about 5 and started barking and going crazy. And when I come outside this morning, a raccoon had gotten into the feed for the birds. It kind of aggravated me. Hello, Jen Ray. Hello from Virginia. Good afternoon, Maryland. Thank you all for tuning in today. Hey, from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thank you for North Carolina. I've been there several times. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today by the EIOBN.com radio network, the website, or the app that they're listening to on, or on Rumble or YouTube. And not sure why Facebook keeps kicking it out. But anyway, we got some good stuff here today. Tonight I will be on with Brad Barton on his show tonight. Talking about, actually had several questions that were sent to me about what's going on in DC and some different things. So I'm actually going to take some time and probably not a whole lot of time, but a little bit of time, and answer those questions tonight that he had. Hello from Louisiana down the bayou. All right. Absolutely. Been to Baton Rouge several times, a ton of times. Nice down there. But just had a lot of questions that came in, and so he sent them to me, and I've been working on getting the exact answers for those, best as possible. So that's what we're going to do. And so for those of you that will be listening to Brad tonight, I'll see you then too. And for those of you that are listening, be sure that you click like and share, and also repost and post and tell people on your own social media, hey, DC is live every day at the EIOBN.com website. If you go there, and you can tell them, say, go there, and everything you need to know is right there. Statesville, North Carolina, hello to you too. And but we're glad to have everyone in here. And so there's a lot of things going on. Man, this country, I mean, it's like every day is just a show. It's unreal. All the things that go on. All the things that are being said, all the things that just happen. It's just great. It can make your head swim with all the things that are going on and that go on from day to day. But that's why we're here, is to bring that to you and talk to you about it and bring different perspective, and also try to bring some level-headedness to what's going on in this country. Some things will never make sense, and that's just because of who who's behind it, because a lot of times they just want to keep you confused and keep you keep you in a circle of just junk. And if they can do that, then they can keep you from questioning and just be a sheep, instead of being a lion. And I believe what's happening within the Patriot movement and the MAGA movement, Make America Great, it is the fact that um, you're seeing people that have been sheep for years actually starting to learn, and you know what? And that's the purpose of this show. Yeah, it is to bring intel. Yeah, it is to bring information, but it's actually to make you think, and also leave the sheep mindset to become a lion. And I believe we need more lions in this country. Someone sent me a little email and asked me about this picture up here. Yes, that is Donald Trump, and that's something that he gave to me and signed it, and I'm grateful for that. But anyway, getting started here. Like I said, you can check us out, eiobn.com website. There is a place on there for you if you want to buy some merchandise. Click on the merch there. Some nice stuff on there, and get that. And just so you know, some of the proceeds that come in for that go to actually um, community things. And but when you go to the donate part and you want to donate to our calls here, that actually goes back into what you're seeing here, equipment, also going on multiple platforms and multiple streams, and creating a large voice here. And also, just so you know, we are Patriot owned, MAGA owned. The whole purpose of this is to get the voice of the Patriots out. If you are on the FCC, if you're on the AM or FM radio, the FCC does you know, kind of filter you, guard you, keep you from saying certain things. And this platform here, we are not governed by them at all. On the radio or social media can do what it wants to do, but they cannot stop our radio from going. And we can be 100% unfiltered. Also, starting tonight at midnight, every night, midnights. I don't know if any of you or even remember, but Art Bell used to be the big science fiction guy that was on AM radio at night. Everybody would listen to him, and everybody would say he's absolutely crazy. He's nutcase. He don't know what he's talking about. Because in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, he was talking about the things that we're going through right now in our country. And back then, everybody said, "Oh, he's more than a conspiracy theorist. He's just plain old crazy." And what is crazy about that is everything that he has said and had people on his shows about things we'd be seeing in the future with supposedly alien aircraft and all that stuff is actually coming to pass as we're seeing on a day-to-day basis. So that's if you're up late at night or you're one of those that just likes to listen to something when you go to sleep, you can tune in to EIOBN, our website, or either on the app and listen to that. So with that being said, let's get started here. So a couple things here. One is Kamala Harris. I can't start this show without that. Well, let me start the show with this. Trump is your daddy, Kamala. Trump is your daddy. And so, loyal listener to the show, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, as Nancy Drew would say, there's a lot of squirrels in the sky. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's so much content, and we'll get to it all at a later point. But man, the most focus right now has been just on this election, the dumb stuff that's going on. Of course, you got now that Trump and Elon being sued by the union people. What a bunch of pussies. What a bunch of babies. Just big babies. I mean, seriously, you're talking grown men in this world act like big old sissies. Bring back the real man. Bring back the real woman. Bring back the people that actually have a heart for America. Bring back strong people. Everyone is so worried about having their feelings hurt. I mean, seriously, they are exercising their freedom of speech. Elon Musk and Trump. And these guys what Trump said was, hey, I like what you've done with your people, Elon. Man, we need to do that in America, and pretty much what he said was, and of course they take it the wrong way because they're babies. But what he was saying is you don't hire a bunch of people that sit around with their thumbs up their butt and do nothing all day long. If they don't work, they get fired. That's called America. And so they got themselves all wound up, and then they filed a lawsuit against them. Now, let me tell you something. They would never have filed a lawsuit against them if they did not believe that they were powerful and their voices were powerful, because they are. They would never have responded. They would have been, oh, whatever, it's just Trump or whatever. You know how like they try to make it in the news? Oh, that's just Trump running his mouth again. That's just this. That's just... No. They know that the power that they have, believe it or not, can affect them. That's why they're trying to sue them and whatever else, which is absolutely ludicrous, just ludicrous. And, and I'm sure those same union people, if Trump was building something, they would sure want to be used. They would sure want paid. There you go. When you take people out of the country life and turn into pussies, you're exactly right, man. You're exactly right. People become real babyfied. Yeah, those are the ones we talked about the other day that got the timeout, didn't get their butt spanked for them for doing stupid stuff. But anyway, so Kamala Harris puts out this tweet, and of course, the only reason why she puts out this tweet is the fact that Donald Trump Jr. is in it. And so Donald Trump Jr. This is an old picture. This is a CPAC. He's standing there with the 17-year-old boy, and the boy's name is Bo Loudon, and Boloudon. And so this is the kind of people that we deal with here. This is someone that is a current VP trying to be a president. And she puts out this tweet and says, Black Lives Matter, not Biden loves minors. This shirt is worn by the 17-year-old, Bo Loudon, is outrageous and racist because his shirt said BLM on it. But what it said is Biden loves minors. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Hello, Brenda. Good to see you too. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious because, maybe it should have said Biden sniffs minors. I don't know. But Kamala it's outrageous and racist. How is that racist? To have a shirt that says Biden loves minors, BLM? It's not. She's a ding dong. She's goofy. She's just goofy. And here's how a grown adult that's the VP trying to be the president acts. She says, I want this little twerp banned from social media. Do not follow him. Are you serious, Kamala? You're worried about whether you're black, white, Indian, whatever you are, trying to relate to everyone. And if you're like Joe Biden, you're Mexican, you're American, you're African American, you're all these things. He's everything to all men. He's everything to all Americans. At least they think they do, and they think they are in their mind. And same thing with Kamala. She's trying to be all things to everyone. If I'm surprised here pretty soon she don't come out and say, I'm part gypsy. So therefore, I'm with that community. It's stupid. It's just stupid. But she has a grown woman, a grown adult, wants to blast. She didn't say nothing about Donald Trump Jr. But she wants to blast this 17-year-old kid, a kid, and call him a racist. Do you understand what she did? Here's how this works. People that are loyal to her and people that are that do listen to her and take things at heart. We're talking Democratic side here, okay? So they react on everything, and they overreact on everything. And when violence comes, it comes from them. And they're good about starting violence and then acting like that it was somebody else. And what she did to this boy was try to shame him, say it was outrageous, call him a racist, and then other people don't follow him. You know people's going to follow him. They're going to check him out. When you say, oh, don't go check them out, they go check them out. That's just the way humans are. And you got some nutcases that'll even try to do harm. Shame on you, Kamala Harris. Shame on you. Another article I saw says just in 77% of the 27. Now, understand, these numbers have went up now. Now, we're talking about Elon Musk and Trump here in their interview the other night. And out of 27 million people, now there's way more than that now, but out of 27 million people that tuned into Trump's radio thing with Elon Musk, the demographics on it, they were 77% of them were younger than 34 years of age. That's huge. That means people that wouldn't vote for Trump, but listen, these are tech people. These are people that listen, and they listen, and they heard, and just because Elon's on there, they're on there because they know he's brilliant. And it's a brilliant move that Trump made. It is so huge of a move. Because I'll tell you this. He just pulled in 77% of these people that were under the age of 34 to vote, is what he did. Because they're not just going... Trump is smart about this. He goes around all these different ways of spreading his message. And his message of we need to vote. We need somebody strong in the White House. Again, we need that. Have to have that. That when he does this interview, I would like to know the true numbers now because we're way above 27 million people. Let me see here. Somebody's right. If the left carry on the race card, it will hurt their campaign because all Americans are absolutely. We're tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the race card. I'm sick and tired of people saying, "Well, I'm this." Or, you know what? Don't come to me. Don't tell me your race. Don't tell me your religion. Don't tell me none of that stuff. Tell me, show me plans. Give me direct information on how you're going to change the country. Not on the fact of, let me do this based off of my race. Because what that tells me is you can't do jack crap, which actually, Kamala, your 3.5 years that you've been in office have proven that you can't do it. Or you would have already done it. You would have already helped our economy. What makes you think we want you in there for 4 more years to do the exact same thing? To get up and giggle, and then make demands on people. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. I don't want it. And you're exactly right. You're exactly right. They want to keep carry the race card out. It's like somebody that just wants to build a career and they build it off of name dropping. And so I've been on 21 minutes there, Alan. Yeah, exactly. Elon did invite Harris, and she didn't even respond. She didn't even respond to him. I'll tell you why. Because she can't answer the questions. She can't answer the questions without giggling, smiling, or saying, we'll have a discussion about that. It's time. Okay. we're done with discussions. We want actions. We as America want actions. We don't want discussions. Discussions, they have their time and place. But we spent 3.5 years trying to have discussions on how to better. You know what? If the leaders that we voted in go in there and they supposedly have a platform to stand on, then when you get in office on the very first day, get your butt to work, because you've got a short amount of time. 4 years is not a long time, but you got 4 years to do exactly what you said you was going to do. And you can't beg people for another 4 years because you were crappy on the job. Can't do it. But they do. And I'll tell you what they do. They come back and say, hey, it's because I'm black, or it's because I'm Indian. You know what? Screw that. Screw all that. I'm just so tired of hearing about the race card. I'm tired about it. And honestly, I think American people are too. I think we're very sick of it. We're very sick of hearing about that. Not one time does Donald Trump come out and say, I'm running my campaign based off of my race, or based off of my marriage, or based off. He doesn't. He comes out and says, this is what it's based off of. We have to have a better economy. We need more jobs. We need less unemployment. We need, inflation has to come down. We need some things to change. Enough of the empty promises. You're exactly right. Enough of empty promises. Whether you like Trump or dislike Trump, you don't really have a daggone choice. And like I said the other day, I am voting for Trump. I would encourage you to do too. We went over the other day about how to watch yourself for, goofy stuff going on at the polls. Do I expect something's going to try to happen? Yes, I do. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm not going to think that everything is just completely safe. But I do know that we do have military that's going to be helping out with some of this stuff. And I do know this. If they try some nonsense this time, there's going to be no question. Absolutely no question of whether there's going to be a insurrection or not. There's just going to be no question about that. It ain't going to be an insurrection. It's going to be crazy. The government is nothing more than a business, and a business-minded person needs to be at the helm of our tax money to benefit the people. Is done with absolutely. And here's the thing: when you get someone that has a business mind that knows actually how to count money and not just spend money that doesn't belong to theirs, and invest money, yes, our country needs a business person. Yes. Because the politicians they don't do nothing but kiss each other's butts. Yes, they do. They kiss each other's butts. They scratch each other's backs behind closed doors. They try to, they make all these deals that are crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it screws the American people. It screws us. It screws us at the pump. It screws us it screws us everywhere. It just screws us. But like I said, with this election, it is so important that you do vote. Don't be afraid to not vote. Don't be afraid of that at all. Go vote. You need to vote. You just need to vote. It's very important that we vote. And it's very important not to be scared, not worry about things. Because we're going to see something take place. That's just the bottom line. You have to just right now accept, hey, something's going to take place. Something's going to happen. It's just going to happen. We can't help that. We're going to see crappy things go down. it's best to be actually, it's best to be at the point to where we just say, you know what, I expect something to take place, and when it does, I'm not going to freak out. I'm just not going to freak out. I'm not going to be upset. I'm just going to look and say, we were told, we were warned, and that's it. That's it. So, anyways, moving on from that. I saw this tweet and I thought it was really something. Anyways, so this lady, she says, something was different about President Trump today. I felt as if he really knew something. I felt as if he knew something really big and couldn't say anything. I believe that, well, first of all, let me just say this. He has been a president, so he knows a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of stuff that, how would you like to have all the problems of the world put on your shoulders, every piece of intel put on your shoulders, and you can't tell no one? And you know what's at stake with this election. You just know that that it's crazy. You know that it's going to be nuts. You know that when you know what the enemy really is, and you can do nothing about it, that's what sucks. So she was saying that. She goes, and then this guy says, think about Trump. He knows what we don't. And that's true. I'm sure he reads and has and heard everything that's been going on in the last 4 years. He knows what's at stake if Kamala would be elected. He knows what's at stake there. He knows it. He knows that our country's screwed. He knows it. She's even made, several statements. She says, first day in office, I will use an executive order to end the Second Amendment. And then Tim Walz says, that first one is Kamala. Kamala says, on first day in office, I will use an executive order to end the Second Amendment. Tim Walz says, we will confiscate all weapons of war, starting with AR-15s. Doubtful. Yeah. There ain't no way that they're going to try that. Somebody posted this. I thought it was great too. It says Trump was, and here's the thing: Kamala Harris. They all have these people just so bent out of shape. Oh, he's going to take your rights. He's going to make it illegal for you to be gay. I don't give a crap whether you're gay or not. I really don't. I do care if you come and try to flirt with me and you are gay, then I'm going to whip your tail in for you. But because I don't swing that way. But the thing is they're trying to say President Trump's going to do this and do that. And let me just say this. We already had 4 years with Trump, right? And those 4 years with Trump, did one time he in prison or take away their rights of the LGBTQ community? Answer that. No, he did not. I'll tell you why he didn't. Because he ain't worried about that. If you want to live that lifestyle, then you live that lifestyle. We don't care. Just don't force it upon me or my kids, and don't come climbing up in the schools, acting like a drag queen and all that stuff, and try to impose your personal views and beliefs upon my family. Because then when you do that, we have a problem. I don't know how Trump takes it either. Did 3,000 marshals go to D.C. and have y'all made any arrests? Yeah, there was over 3,000. And I explained this a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people have said, well, that's impossible. We only have 92 sworn and then 3,000 and some here. And just so you know, the New York police, even outside New York police, you had surrounding areas in Virginia and Maryland, even some and other places came in and were sworn in as marshals, and some were sworn in as Capitol Police. Part of that can be talked about a little bit. Part of that is just for the Capitol Police part is for certain things that's coming up. We're still waiting on Brunson case. We're still waiting on that. Either way, if the Brunson case, any of those lawsuits come out and say they change some things, then we're going to need that. We're going to need those people. The other thing is, yes, there was arrests. Matter of fact, there's been a ton of arrests that have happened. And if you follow me on my social media, you'll see things that I post on there. And some things I post, I post it after the fact, and some of it during, because it doesn't make any sense to post something that that someone could come out and get in the middle of and get hurt. That's how that is. That's with anything, with anything at all. You want everybody to be safe, and you don't want an innocent bystander getting in the middle of stuff. And the other thing is social media is so powerful, because when we discussed this on Brad Barton, he discussed this. Everybody went crazy. It went viral. I mean, the next day he's taking, hey man, you got to. I mean, everybody's just driving me crazy over this. This is going nuts. It's everywhere. And the thing is, social media is powerful in a good way, and it also can be in a bad way. So, it just depends on what it is. But yes, there was arrests made, and there was actually arrests that are being made even still up until today. Do you think it'll end? No, it'll never end. The arrests and all that stuff will just not end. It just won't do it. It'll continue on and continue on until it's done. And when do I think that'll be done? Never, because you're always going to find something. But you got the other day, I even talked about it. You got people in Georgia now being arrested because the fraud that went on. And even though the Democratic Party still wants to swear up and down that there was no fraud, there was fraud. And they know it. They all know it. They all know it. And they all just want to act like nothing ever happened. And, but anyway, so Donald Trump, he says this. Now, understand this. Imagine running for president. And this is how they've tried to keep him quiet, because he says, he tweeted, Judge Merchant has ruled that I, the Republican candidate for president, and leading in the polls, I am still under a gag order concerning very important things which must be brought to light. These things must be brought to light. And I'm not allowed to answer reporters' questions the way I need to. Can you believe this? The New York courts have refused to act. There we go. This is happening right before the voting begins on September the 6th. And we're past that now. Suppression and manipulation of the vote. Voter interference at its greatest. And that it is, guys. I mean, when the courts start getting involved and they start taking away, your right to really vote and have a voice, it's wrong. And these people, these judges that are doing this, you let somebody else do this, and they won't act like anything. They'll just act like it's no big deal. But you let the normal person do this, they're going to arrest them and everything else. So these judges need to be held accountable. That's the first thing. As he says, this is real stuff. This is the real fascist stuff that the old Soviet Union used to do. So much to say, and I'm not allowed to say it. We must get the Supreme Court involved. New York is trying to step in and steal this election. I believe it. I believe it. And you'll have those that say, oh, he's just crying wolf again. Crying wolf. He's just trying to, steal this election. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to steal it. He ain't trying to steal it. He's trying to let them just speak. Just speak and give his voice. So here's my message to Trump. You have so much that needs to be said, but you're not allowed to say it. But you can answer yes or no. And so what I would do if I was him, this is just me, I'd get with Dan Scavino. Dan Scavino has been with him for a long time, very loyal, unlike Michael Cohen, lying piece of crap. And, I would get with him and I wouldn't say anything. I would just write down everything. And then I would have a one-on-one, another thing online, give the questions to Elon Musk and let Elon Musk ask him these questions. Is this true? Or is this true? And he can answer yes or no. That way, he's not actually just sitting there spilling the beans. It's someone asking him a question of whatever he's written down to spill the beans. Because the American people do need to know. Because what Trump is fearing is the fact. I don't even know if it's fear. I think what he's up against is he's wrestling against the good and evil is what he's doing. Not that he's evil, nothing like that. What I'm saying is he's wrestling against this because he's got all this information that he knows that would be public if it wasn't for this judge in New York, which go figure. I mean, it's New York, for God's sakes. I mean, it's New York. It is what it is, guys. Banana land is what I'll tell you is. They can have New York. New York can stick it up their butt. All they got is their illegals out there now. Let them have them. They brought them there. Let them have their heyday. But what he's experiencing is it's a troublesome thing within him because he knows that the American people are on the verge of a Nazi regime. And that's exactly what the Kamala Harris and Horseman, Tampon Tim is. That's what they are. They're wanting that when they openly. Here's the thing: when a Democrat tells you, "I'm going to take your guns from you if I'm in," I'm going to go back and I'm going to take away that Second Amendment. How do you take away our Second Amendment? I'll tell you how you do. Out of my dead cold hands is how you do. See, because Kamala is one of those she's one of those kids that was on the playground that would always instigate stuff and start stuff, but could never be confronted or answer these questions or even handle things. But I'll tell you what, Kamala, come try to take our Second Amendment from us and see what America gives you. America is going to give you what Toby Keith said, a boot up your butt. That's what's going to happen. You're not going to take the Second Amendment and don't expect a fight because we're done laying down. We're done with just, yes, I know a lot of the names on the arrest, and I have told them in the last week, but I got others that I cannot talk about, at least not yet. But come try to take a Second Amendment right from us and see if we don't fight back. January 6th, that insurrection that the Democratic Party initiated, try to take our Second Amendment right and see if you don't get more than a January 6th. It'll make January 6th look like a picnic at the park with free food from McDonald's or KFC. Yeah. Hello, Angela from Alabama. Rainsville. I've been there too. Man, small town. They'll try to take your gun. You'll get nothing but a lead injection. It's possible. It's very possible they can do that. Very possible they would try, and it is very likely that they would get a lead injection. That's the American people are no longer sitting by and just letting things happen. We're done. We're ticked. We're pissed. We're going to fight back, because you can only back a dog in the corner for so long until he comes out and snatches your fingers off. Except now you have 81 plus now millions of people that are gun owners, not just one gun, multiple guns. And there ain't enough military. There ain't enough law enforcement that could actually come and confiscate your stuff. There's just not. I don't see how it even be possible. She may say that, and of course, you may have, FBI or whatever trying to go door to door. That ain't gonna go. And 90% of your law enforcement officers are not. They're not people that's against guns. They're against criminals having guns, like legit criminals. But not the American people. So, enough of her, at least for right now. But yeah, she wants to pick on a little kid, and then she wants to, all that stuff. And, yeah. So, someone sent me something, and I'm going to answer this question. Of course, JD Vance, and they sent me a picture here. The race will start getting fast and furious now. There's a lot of stuff going around social media about JD Vance being actually, gosh, I can't think of his name now. It just slipped my mind. But anyways, the guy that played in Fast and Furious that was killed in a car wreck, supposedly killed in a car wreck. That is not JD. That is not him. That is actually JD Vance. I will tell you that. His eyes may look, people pull at straws. The nose is the same. The eyes, sort of a little bit. The only thing he's got going is the same color eyes. The nose is not the same. The lips, it's stupid. Grasping at straws there. But to answer that, that's no. And I saw this, was funny. It says, America's cheap fake duo. Harris Walt's agenda. Stolen. Now understand this. This is really their agenda. This sums it up. This is fantastic. Stolen valor, a stolen Biden candidacy, because they pretty much just threw the old man out, which is, whatever. Stolen policies. Where did she get their stolen policies from? Donald Trump. I said it the other day. It's funny. I'll say things on this show, and then I'll see other people on social media and doing their videos, and they'll plagiarize what I'm saying. My thing is get your own information, but the stolen policies, like on the we need safer borders. She's now saying we need safer borders. Okay. She's also saying no tax on tips. No, like it's her idea. I think she needs to get her own policies. And she doesn't have any because she's been too busy telling everybody, we'll have a conversation. We'll have a conversation about that. Let's have a conversation. No. Stolen Trump campaign. All they're good at is stealing other things. And now, let's see if we can find it here. There is a, oh man, it's good. It came out this morning. Let's see if I have it here and I'll play it for you. Oh wait, I just had to steal it. But anyway, it says, Congress, John Solomon, y'all know who he is, hopefully, Republican. John Solomon says, Congress opens a probe into whether Google search has misled Americans on Trump assassination now. And then there was another one that came out that said that the Democratic Party or the Kamala Harris, they were actually paying Google and other search things to change things up, to put them in a positive light, because they know they suck and they know that they're no good. So Liz, I want you to hear this here. This was Trump. This is good.
With all of that being said, I think it's very important to have debates, and we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th. And we've agreed with ABC on September 25th. So we have those 3 dates.
Breaking news. Trump threatens town halls. If Harris skips debates, Trump throws down the gauntlet. Harris must face the heat or face town halls. In a bold move, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is ramping up the pressure on Vice President Kamala Harris, declaring he's ready to host town halls if she bails on upcoming debates.
Well, you know she's going to bail. Okay. She's going to say, well, we'll just have a discussion about this. That's all she can do. Let me play you this one.
You ran your campaign promising supporters that Mexico is going to pay for the wall and that the wall was going to be made of concrete. You just said earlier that the wall could be made of steel, and right now our government is shut down over a demand from your administration that the American taxpayer pay for the wall. So how?
Let me say this real quick here. This just shows you how stupid reporters can be. Okay. You said that you were going to do it out of concrete, and now you're going to do it out of steel. Is that really journalism? Is that really what, I mean, seriously, give me the real news. Why are you asking the most dumbest question? I mean, she needs her press credentials taken from her. If you're a journalism and you're listening to this, do journalism. Don't do stupid stuff like this that just embarrass who you represent. Doesn't matter whether it's steel or concrete. She's trying to make it like he's lied to the American people now because he said concrete. Now it's going to be steel. How retarded.
How can you say you're not failing on that promise to your supporters?
Very nice question, so beautifully asked, even though I just answered it.
You didn't
answer. Look, let me just say, excuse me,
excuse me.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I just told you that we just made a trade deal. And we will take in billions and billions of dollars, far more than the cost of the wall. The wall is peanuts compared to what the value of this trade deal is to the United States. As far as concrete, I said I was going to build a wall. I never said, I'm going to build a concrete. I said I'm going to build a wall.
You said
just so you don't, because I know you're not into the construction business. You don't understand something. We now have a great steel business that's rebuilt in the United States. Steel is stronger than concrete. If I build this wall or fence or anything the Democrats need to call it, because I'm not into names, I'm into production. I'm into something that works. If I build a steel wall rather than a concrete wall, it will actually be stronger than a concrete. Steel is stronger than concrete, okay? In case you could check it out. Listen, if I build a wall and the wall is made out of steel instead of concrete, I think people will like that. And here's the other good thing. I'll have it done by the United States Steel Corporation, by companies in our country that are now powerful, great companies again. And they become powerful over the last 2 years because of me and because of our trade policies. So if I have a steel wall, or you could call it a steel fence, but it'll be more powerful than any of the concrete walls that we're talking about. It's possible that it will look better. And one of the things, I think you have seen this, that's very important for us, very, very important, in speaking to Border Patrol, ICE, and actually local law enforcement, and even military, they want to be able to see through it. You can't really see through a concrete wall. They want to be able to see who's on the other side of the wall. Because if they're here and you have about a 12-inch concrete wall and you have people on the other side, but you can't see what's over there, it's very dangerous. They want to be able to see through the wall. A see-through wall made out of steel is far stronger than a concrete wall. So I'm very happy with it. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that's what the Democrats prefer. And if it can get them there, I'm okay.
All right. So what he did was just shut her down. Because, she's trying to, and that's the thing the news does. They always try to catch him up on something. And it's stupid. Do your job. But we're going to split hairs here. We're going to split hairs over a concrete wall or a steel wall. But you've lied to the American people. Are you serious? And when he comes back and he says what he says, her face says it all, because he sucked the life out of her stupid question. Paul Walker. Yeah, that was his name. She's never going to show up to these town meetings or even, the debate things. She's not going to do it. And some of you have asked about the the arrests and stuff like that. It's stuff like this I'm going to play that's happening
today by welcoming our special guests. We have, I think, people from the Democratic Party. I think we've got folks from the Republican Party. This was open to the public. These are not guests of ours. They were not invited, but all are welcome. I am joined this morning by members of our team and by a Texas Ranger, members of the state's greatest and long-serving law enforcement agency. I'm joined by Texas Ranger Ryan Christian. I always want to add that to his name. By our first assistant, David Mitchum. By Mike Levine, our public corruption prosecutor. And George Jordan, also a prosecutor with our public corruption division. I want to thank them for what has been a long and thorough investigation of the 2022 general election. Anytime that 2 or more affidavits are filed by citizens in the state of Texas complaining about an election violation, by law, the district attorney is required to investigate. That is what happened in this election. Multiple affidavits were filed, sent to us immediately after the election, and we did what we always do. We called in an independent investigative agency, the Texas Rangers. The investigation actually began shortly after the election. And we now know, because the Secretary of State's office has done a preliminary report on Harris County's general election of 2022, that there were major problems with that election. We all remember long lines, some disruption in voting because of the machines, but primarily the complaints were lack of paper ballots, that voting locations ran out of paper. Some have said this was directed at one party. Our investigation has not found that to be so.
Listen up.
However, the Secretary of State's office has said that the insufficient distribution of ballot paper to polling locations and the loss of an effective monitoring system resulting in those ballot paper shortages at multiple polling locations across Harris County and on election day is attributed to a cessation of voting at certain locations. You can look at this public report and find what the Secretary of State's office found and reported as their findings publicly to support them, why they found what they found. Now, we know that voting was disrupted. We know that there are some people in Harris County who did not get.
They know. You understand? They know that it happened. Pay attention here, because she's going to get on to the arrests now.
To vote. We know this was a failure in terms of an election that the government has a responsibility to run effectively, ethically, and most importantly, accurately. Here's what the criminal investigation found, because while we didn't know how it happened, now we do. Defendant Daryl Blackburn, who worked in the now defunct Elections Administrator's Office, has been charged with 6 felony charges, 5 of them tampering with a document, 1 theft by public official.
And he's not the only one that's going to get it. It's still coming down the pike, guys.
This individual was specifically assigned to see that paper was allocated properly in all of the polling locations. He had other responsibilities equally as important, but this is really the nuts and bolts of the election, the allocation of paper. And it is at the heart of much of what the problem was back in November of 2022. Unfortunately,
and let me stop her there. You may say, well, good Lord, all it was just paper. No, it's not. It was a purposeful thing, not just here, but all around America, to where they could not continue and take votes, process these things. That left it open to the fake ballots that would come in. Okay.
Under the not so watchful eye of Isabel Longoria and later Clifford Tatum, Mr. Blackburn represented that he worked full-time for Harris County, while in truth, he worked a second full-time job elsewhere. The result is he didn't do his job for Harris County. Can't do 2 full-time jobs and give them the credit and the attention that they need. You may remember that Isabel Longoria was appointed. She had not been employed prior to her appointment, and she left in ignominy after the primary election of 2022. She was followed by Clifford Tatum, an individual who remains employed with Harris County in Precinct 2. Now, while working for the elections office, Mr. Blackburn not only stole thousands of dollars from Harris County in the sense that he lied on timesheets, much more importantly, he stole individuals' rights to vote.
There you go.
A basic constitutional right in our democracy.
A basic constitutional right. Now, well, that doesn't seem like a big thing that he did, but it is, because like I said, it taking all those ballots out and saying that they couldn't process because there was no paper and yada, yada, yada. That opened up the door for the fake ballots to come in. Now, do I wish this investigation would have happened, or arrest would have happened a whole lot sooner? Absolutely. But sometimes it's over. When you see the massive amount of fraud, you can't, the way the system works, system kind of sucks really, but the way it works is you have to, one, have all your evidence and everything, and then it has to go before a judge to sign off saying, hey, yeah, there's enough probable cause here to arrest, for having a warrant to arrest this person. Okay? That's how it works. A lot of times you'll go before judges and they are partial, because we have put in Democratic judges, because my mama used to vote Democrat and my daddy, right? We've put these people in power. Do you really think that they're going to sink their own ship? They're not. And it takes frustration after frustration and frustration to get something done. And that's where this has been. You want to know why? You want to know why? You realize if it was the other way around and it was the Democratic Party was saying that things were stolen, do you realize how fast warrants would have been issued? Do you realize how fast a lot of things would have came down? Well, yeah, because they're worried about packing the courts with Trump's people, the Supreme Court. Imagine what it would be if they were able to actually pack the courts with people that they want in there. We'd be screwed. We would be screwed. We'll take a station break and I'll be right back.
You are listening to the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network.
Hey, everybody, it's DC, and today I want to talk to you about Birch Gold Group. And we recently had some monumental news that no one else is actually talking about. And for the first time ever, the interest the U.S. pays on its debt surpassed every individual budget item except Social Security. And that's right. The U.S. now spends more on interest than on national defense or even Medicare. And it's only getting worse as big government continues to spend recklessly. And that's why savvy Americans are turning turning to gold, and something not tied to the inflated dollar is what it is. And you too can can do this with the help of Birch Gold Group. And for over 20 years, Birch Gold Group has helped tens of thousands of Americans protect their retirement and savings by converting on IRA or the 401k into an IRA in gold. To learn more, go to birchgold.com/rumble, birchgold.com/RUMBLE, and get a free, no obligation information kit on diversifying your retirement into a gold IRA. Birch Gold has earned a A+ rating with the BBB and thousands of happy customers. Protect your IRA or your 401k. If you want to do that, go to birchgold/rumble and get your free information kit on gold today. I wanted to say one thing here. On behalf of Rumble, I'm grateful for that, but I want to encourage you, the audience that's listening, to download the Rumble app. That way you get the notifications every time that we go live. And also when you do that, be sure you follow us, and it will help remind you, when we do go live. And also, the app is available everywhere for TV. It's available for TVs also. So make sure you download the Rumble app. Once you download it, you search for my channel, DC Intel. It'll pop up, and follow the channel directly on that app. This will make sure that you get a notification every time that we go live, and keeps you informed. And also, if you click on the link in the description or the pinned live chat to download the Rumble app, actually on your phone also, it's free to do that. And if you prefer to watch us on a big screen, which is pretty cool, we are also available now on Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, Roku, LG, and Samsung TVs. All you need to do is just search for Rumble. Once you get that, download it, search for DC Live, and every time it'll be on your big screen. Sounds great, don't it? There's nothing like a good cup of coffee. 1775coffee.com. You need to check it out. And, it's time to say goodbye to Starbucks and say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. It's unlike other brands. This is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Visit 1775coffee.com, and you can use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off. And the coffee comes in medium and dark roast, and it also comes in pea berry, which is also similar to the Kana coffee. And in other words, its stuff is premium. It really is. So click on the link, go to 1775 Coffee and click on the link, and you can directly order from there and use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off today. Let me tell you something. It's called the Talking Trump Doll. This is the coolest thing. I want you to go to 47doll.com, 47doll.com, and check out the Talking Trump Doll. It's a beautiful plush Trump that says about 20 of Trump's different best phrases in his own voice, and these rigged trials and everything else that's going on. And go right now to 47doll.com, 47doll.com, and use the promo code rigged trials and everything else that's going on. And go right now to 47doll.com, 47doll.com, and use the promo code free Trump, FREETURMP, to save 10% and get a free display stand if you order in the next 10 minutes at 47doll.com, 47doll.com.
We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also you will get email updates for Guardians only, plus special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our EIOBN.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you.
Thank you. And, that's how we pay some bills around here. But yes, if you would like to support us, go to eiobn.com. That is our website. And there's a place on there for merchandise also. You can buy some merch. Be great. Help us continue to do what we're doing here. I'd like to get this to the place, just so you know, to a place to where we are, of course, we are 100% listener supported. And I'm not going to beg for money, but I'm just letting you know, what we're doing here is listener supported. And I would like to get to the place to where we are 100% completely taken care of. That way we don't have to do all these commercials and stuff like that. But you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, there's a guy named Bishop Emmanuel. He's on TikTok and social media also. And excuse me there. He said something. I'm going to play for you here in a second. Let me answer this real quick here. Yesterday you mentioned George H. Bush, Gitmo, etc. Are you going to be able to talk about that today? That was my plan. I'm still working on one other thing for that I believe was very important. That's why I just kind of I didn't put it on the back burner. I just kind of, I want to have all my information on that for you. But thank you so much, Marilyn, for reaching out. Red Draw News is reporting. Yeah, that's absolutely fact. Ms. Jet, that Cheetah were arrested. Is this true? You heard it here first. It's very true. It's all true. Will it be on your CNN or Fox News or NBC? No, you're not going to see that. And probably in a couple weeks, maybe a week or two, I'll be able to bring back some proof on that. Sometimes you get things that you really want everybody to see, but you kind of want to continue to live in life. And so, that's how it works with intel and stuff. Let's see here. Do you know why Kamala picked Walls as her? No, it's because she is used to dancing around real issues. Pretty good, Jeff. And then also, so where's it at here? Also saw known says, Luann, she and her sidekick, Kamala, are coming on a special bus in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area Sunday. Pennsylvania voters are switching from Democrat to Republican or registering as Republican. She is scared. I actually saw something about that too. And I wasn't sure yet. I had actually asked a couple people that I know that live there. Yeah. So anyway, that's great. I think it's great. And she should be scared. She should be scared that people are not, that people are just, they know the spiel. What was he arrested for? I cannot say. At least not right now. Bishop Emmanuel, let's go back to him. I want you to hear this. It's amazing.
Let me say this to the White House, to the Pentagon, to the American government. The only and the last president you will ever have, and this has got nothing to do with the name I'm about to mention, nothing to do with that person. This is the Lord Jesus. Wake up and open your eyes, because Satan has blinded you. The only hope America has, and the last president that will still hold America at bay, is Donald Trump. No one else. This got nothing to do with Donald Trump. It's got to do with the Lord Jesus. Once Donald Trump goes, kiss America goodbye for good. It's gone. Finito. At the moment, it's on the verge of collapse. Oh, America.
Oh, America. And he's right. He's right. That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to play you something here. Also, this is actually during 2020 during COVID, in Minnesota. Now here's the thing. Let's just say for kicks and giggles, Kamala did win, and they were in. We're going to have another treason, absolutely. We're going to have another pandemic if they're in there. We still may have one if Trump gets in there, but with them, it's a guaranteed, because what they want to do is they want power. They want to shut everything down, and everybody, they want to be the masters. Okay. If you thought slavery was bad, wait and see if these two jokers, if they get in there, it'll be worse. But during COVID, what he had done is he had an 800 number, and we went over this the other day, that for people to call if they saw people that weren't social distancing, weren't wearing their masks, or were too close for comfort with people. And then they would send the authorities out to deal with them. Now, this video is by a lady, and she posted this, and it's crazy. Now, what's happening is she's on her front porch because she sees the National Guard or whatever coming down her street. So she goes out to just check it out. And as she's just checking it out, just trying to check it out to see what's going on, I don't know what's going on in here. It's crazy. And what happens is when she goes out there to check it out, they tell her to go back in her house. Go back in your house. And so she doesn't want to go back in her house at that time. Well, they start firing rubber bullets at her. So listen to this.
Oh, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light them up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in.
Oh, God, that hurt. You guys.
Are you okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're fucked for that, dude. What?
Okay.
Do you hear the terror from that? Do you hear that? That is terror in her voice because of these guys. And what they're doing is they're shooting these rubber bullets at them, hitting them, actually hitting them. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd that they would do that. We're talking to the American people. To the American people trying to shoot things to get them in their house. Oh, man. And of course, I don't know if you've heard, but the Venezuelan gangs coming in to Colorado and taking over apartment complexes, all that stuff. And they're squatting in the house. They're going to places that they can squat because there's squatter laws. I had a squatter one time in a piece of property that I had. And I just went and removed him out. And what are they going to do? Call the law on you? Call the law and say, hey, I'm stuck in this guy's house here, and I refuse to get out, and he's wanting me out. Some people will deal with that, and some people just won't deal with it. I'm one of these that won't deal with it. I just throw them straight out on their butt. But anyway, it's in Colorado right now, and so it's so bad. I mean, so bad. It's just crazy. And that's what they're illegals. They're illegals taking over our stuff. Okay. That's why it's so important to have the borders closed. Have the borders closed, and those that are supporting that, they need to live with those guys. I'm going to play this here. This is a pastor. I played him last week, and this is a different clip of him talking about Kamala Harris. This man is an African American, and you just need to hear what he's got to say. It's pretty good.
Miss Lock Up a Brother for when she was the age. I call her Miss Lock Up a Brother for when she was the AG in California. A Negro knew, a black man knew that he was dead in the water. He was dead in the water. Matter of fact, you don't need a trial. You might as well go to jail if you appear before her, because she took pride in locking up black folk. And now all of a sudden she's trying to be sister girl. I'm telling it. Check out her record. She locked us up left and right. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, you did, Kamala, however I should pronounce it. You did. And now we're supposed to forget all that stuff.
Feet are going to...
Boom. I mean, they're calling her out the way it is. I mean, she screwed her own, or at least she acts like it's her own. But I played it the other day where she had actually given that statement saying she was so proud how she could just one swipe of the hand of her signature could put a misdemeanor or a felony and cost somebody money and cause grief. It's crazy. And you want that in as the president? No, we don't. Somebody sent me this. I thought it was great. I think you need to hear this. This is actually a California senator, Susan Eggman. She's leaving the Democratic Party because she's tired. And this is true. She's tired of people buying little girls. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to hear this.
I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. And I'm tired of saying it's okay and that we have to protect the men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career working with people who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the abuse that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love and look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Enough. We have given away enough on this area, and we've got to move back into the center, or we all look like fools and laughing stocks. And what do we stand for? I ask all of you to watch the documentary that Senator Grove was in, Senator from Kern County was just in, that talked about this very place in Sacramento where girls are being bought and sold. Men are being given a slap in the hand or a couple days, and then they're back out again, and they do the same thing. They get caught over and over and over again, and somehow that's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay anymore, and no more am I watching. Like I said, I'm leaving, but the rest of you who are going to be here for a while, let's get our stuff together and really start focusing on some of the important things. We talk about learning, and we talk about being safe. This is like at the core of it. And a lot of these kids can be throwaway kids. They're poor kids. They're kids of color. But they shouldn't have to live a life determined by what happens to them by others at a very young age, and by have the Democratic Party of California say it's okay. It's not okay. And I'm not doing it anymore, and I hope none of you do too. We have to be able to draw a line, and for me, I'm drawing a line. I urge your I vote.
Good for her. Good for her. Great. We need more people like that. And here's the thing, like she said, these guys, and if you think it's just people on the street that go to everybody, especially the politicians, they know where the sex traffickers are, they know them. They probably fund some of them because it's a money-making scheme at somebody else's risk. And I'm going to be honest with you. You want some intel? Here's some intel. Watch in the next 6 to 8 months. You're going to see a lot of major churches in America that you probably look up to, and probably, man, you may really think you respect them. But you're going to find out that they were intertwined with sex trafficking, and they do it through this missionary crap. Is what they do. It's a big money making thing. People will go and, oh, we're giving money because we're feeding this. We're building houses for these kids, and you really are. These orphanages, you really are. You're helping build that. But what you're doing is you're building a place for them to be held captive and be sexually assaulted and sexually abused and sex trafficked. That's what's happening. If your eyes was truly open to what is happening, including our religious leaders, not all, but a lot of these big places, it would make you puke. I said it a couple weeks ago on my show. Whenever I retire, I want to be one of these guys that helps families find their kids that's been stolen or being sex trafficked, and find the people that's doing it, and John Wick 'em, if you know what I mean. It's absolutely absurd. But the video played earlier with Tim Waltz, actually sent people in to shoot at people for coming out on their front porch. How in the world are you going to make the world sick by standing on your front porch? It is not about being sick. COVID was not about being sick. It's about control, and seeing how far they could get with the American people. And some people, it went really well. They went all the way. They bid it, hook, line, and sinker, and that's fine. That's them. There's just man, I can't get to everything today. What's some of these questions? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So in our nation right now, I know we've been going an hour and 24 minutes here. In our nation, we just really got to pray. We got to pray, seek God's face, and not only that, help each other. And I want to stress to you this, the importance of us doing what we're doing here now. This is more than just a Rumble thing, or being on YouTube, or on Facebook, or on TikTok, or X, or any of those things. It's more than that. It's about binding together, supporting each other, creating a network of a voice. And that's what we're doing here at the EIOBN.com network. I can't stress to you enough how much we are needed here. How much we're needed. The other night when Elon Musk was on and everything went down, when we come back up, we had over 31,000 people that was listening. That's amazing. And, that shows that it's working. So anyways, tomorrow we will try to dive into the George H. Bush thing. If you have any questions, shoot them to me. At DC, you can go on our website, EIOBN.com, scroll down and hit contact and put your question in. Or those of you that's on YouTube, you can send it to me that way. I'll see you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And everyone that's taken your time to come here today, our numbers have been very well, and that's good. That means our message is getting out and people are listening. And we want people to listen. We want people to think before you vote, and think before you start supporting businesses that do not support what you believe and do not support the agenda that makes America great. that's why it's important to support the sponsors of our show, because these are patriot driven, and this radio station is a patriot driven radio station. We are MAGA, Make America Great, and we just happen to support Trump. And if we had a better candidate, and say it was a Democrat or whatever, and he was way better than Trump, and say the tables were turned, well, we'd be voting. And we want what's best for the country is the bottom line. And I can't remember what time I'm on with Brad tonight. You'll just have to look at his Facebook. But we have to just continue to support. So if you get a chance and you ever want to help us out, go on our website, hit donate. It's secure. You can put any gift in there. It's greatly appreciated. And so we'll be on tomorrow at 1:00 again. I was probably like 50 seconds late today, but we'll be on time tomorrow. And thank you so much for everybody for your support, and everybody that has been a part of what we're doing here from the beginning, and will continue until someday when we make it where we're going to make it. Keep your head up and don't be discouraged. We're going to win this fight. And if Kamala Harris ever hears this, Kamala, Donald is your papa. He's your daddy. Y'all have a great day.